Hello, and welcome back to the podcast. My name is Faith. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are talking about entertaining boys. Okay. Now, first off, we're not going to be talking about like relationships because I don't know if I touched on that before, or maybe that's an upcoming episode. I actually cannot remember. But we are talking about situationships. Okay. Now, if you don't know what a situationship is, you're so lucky. Okay. A situationship, by definition of Google, is a romantic or sexual relationship that is not considered formal or established. So basically, you are just having sex with someone, or you're flirting and you guys like have this kind of relationship, but nothing is established, which is depressing. I'm not gonna lie. So, we are just gonna kind of talk about why they suck. And then I'm also gonna talk to you about how to tap into your like baddie villain era. And that's just gonna be like some advice at the end. But as of right now, listen, okay, situationships can be so much fun. Don't get me wrong. They can be a blast, especially if you're not looking for an actual relationship. Like, they can be so much fun. You're hanging out with someone that you kind of like, maybe not even like feelings for them, but you just like their company, which is nice. And you can just do whatever you want because it's consensual. You guys are both on the same page. Now, the issue with situationships is that they can suck too, okay? Because, see, the thing is like women, when they have sex with someone, they get more emotionally attached. Now, men don't do that as much. I know that there are probably men out there that do get emotionally attached, but for the most part, it's just the women that get emotionally attached. I'm not even sure why that is because I mean, I've done that before. I don't know why. Maybe it just kind of feels, it's more like a sacred thing almost to do it with someone. So maybe that's why women get more like, not weird about it, but like just attached. So that's probably why. But, um, yeah, so when you start to have those feelings and then you maybe see them with someone else, that sucks. You get jealous. It's sad. It hurts your feelings. It sucks catching feelings. Which is why situationships are kind of better if you don't want to have those feelings for someone. Although, like I just mentioned, you can catch feelings, which is unfortunate. I do just want to like preface saying that I'm not judging anyone if they are in a situationship. Everyone has their own wants in life, and you're not affecting my life, so I don't really care. You do you. If you're happy, hell yeah. If you're not happy, I would suggest making a few changes. However, I'm not judging. You can do whatever you want. I'm going to talk about some signs to look for when you're not really sure if you're in a situationship or if it's just like an actual normal relationship that's developing. Now, with situationships, most of the time, he will not text you before 7 o'clock or even 6 o'clock. He just wants to hook up most times. Okay, that's basically what's on his mind. Even if he suggests going to see a movie at your place or his place, girl, that's a booty call. We don't want that. We do not want that. The thing is with men, if you give it up on like the first time you hang out or the first date, he tends to think that you're easy. Now, that doesn't mean you actually are. That's just his logic. Okay, he's going to be like, "Oh, I can get with her. Pretty much anyone can get with her. So might as well just keep that going. I can just get sex and not even have to, try in a relationship." Again, that does not mean you are easy because you're not. Maybe you just wanted to have a good time and you were fine with that happening. But in his mind, it's probably saying she's easy. So that's like another thing to look out for is like if you do it on the first date or do it on the first hangout, it might lead to just a situationship rather than a real relationship. Because men love a chase. They love chasing after a woman and seeing how confident she is. And if you're just like kind of giving it up at the first time, it's really just not going to develop into anything. Another thing to look out for is if he asks you to hang out and you are always available, he knows you are wrapped around his finger, okay? He is going to think that you're going to fall for him anytime he wants. So that means you're disposable to him, okay? Not that you are. In his mind, you are, though. To everyone else, you're not disposable. You're a fucking queen. But to him, he will just think that you're disposable. Now, look, another thing that I've learned from men in general, not even just situationships, but if a guy is like telling you, you know, you're the cutest person ever, maybe we can go on a date sometime, men's word does not mean shit until you see the actions. Okay? He could tell you the best things that you have always wanted to hear, he could promise things, but his word doesn't mean shit unless he actually shows you the actions. If he wanted to, he would. If you are stuck in a friend zone or a situationship for more than, I would say, probably 2 months, you're screwed. You're staying there for a while. And if it's past, I would say maybe 3 months, 3.5, almost 4, yeah, you're a situationship and it's not going anywhere. If a man really, really wanted you, he would. He would have you and he would chase after you and he would actually put in the effort to have you. But he likes that you're being nice to him. He likes that you're giving him sex. And in a guy's mind, why would he want to change all of that? Why would he want to add emotions into the mix? Why would he want to add more effort than he already is? He comes over to your house or you come over to his house. You maybe have some food, you have sex, and then you just go. Like, that's so easy for him. And we don't want that for men, okay? We need to make it a little hard for them. This isn't even advice, but just like, don't be the girl who helps him change for the next girl. Not even in just a situationship, but like in a relationship. It sucks. If you're not seeing him change or do anything, or you're like trying to give him advice for a relationship or something and he's not doing it for you, get the fuck out. Okay? You don't want to be that girl. If he wants to change, he would. And he's not going to change for you, especially if you keep having those same conversations over and over again. It's just not going to play out how you want it to play out. I'm sorry. I don't know if that's super harsh, but it's just the truth. I guess really that's all I have for like situationships. Now we're gonna get into entering your baddie slash villain era. Someone told me that I need to tap into that. And if you're listening, you know who you are, obviously, because you told me. And guess what? I'm doing that. And I feel great because I'm feeling like myself. I feel confident. I feel great. So I'm just kind of going to give you some advice. But first, I'm going to give you like the definition of a baddie slash villain era. It's basically someone who's slaying the game. She is showing confidence. She is confidence. And she's got like an unbothered energy about her. And she kind of just like is unapologetically herself and she does only what will serve her rather than what will serve other people. Now, don't get me wrong, be nice to people, help people out, be kind to everyone. However, if you are not okay, you can't be okay for other people. So, your emotions, mental health, feelings, yourself goes before anyone because, like I just said, if you're not okay, you can't be okay for someone else. So, being yourself and being unapologetically you is the most important thing in life. Now, some advice that I have just because of me learning things You need to dress to impress yourself, not for other people. Dress however the fuck you want to dress. You can have your own style, but as long as you're confident in those clothes or in your style, that's all that matters. Because regardless of what you wear, if you feel and act confident, people will not even think twice that you're not confident. They're going to be like, wow, she looks really good right now because you are dressing to impress yourself and you are confident in yourself and in clothes. Now, I'm not saying that you need to go out and buy a whole new wardrobe because the first step is like being confident in yourself. However, being confident on the outside also helps the confidence on the inside. And that kind of goes with the next thing of like putting yourself first. You really have to put yourself first because that's how you're going to be happy. If you are constantly overstressing yourself for other people's needs, wants, feelings, you're not going to have any time for yourself and you are going to be drained when it comes like when you're done dealing with someone else's problem and you come back to your own, you're not going to have any feelings or energy left. I've definitely done this before myself. I've, helped people with their issues or like, if they're going through something, I'm there for them. I'm always there for my friends and family. Like I care about them so much. They can text me, call me anytime. And then like when I had like a mental breakdown on I think it was this past Thursday, I was a freaking wreck, okay? And I was just burnt out, not only from like my own personal life of like work and all that kind of stuff, but like I just was burnt out. It's really hard to be there for people when you're not okay. And again, like I know this firsthand. So you really have to put your happiness first because you can't be happy for other people if you're not happy with yourself. And again, moving on to the next advice, it kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier, but like set boundaries with people and yourself. Like if people aren't serving you, if people aren't lifting you up, if they're tearing you down, if they're making you stressed out, if they're like really just being emotionally taxing on you and your mental health, you got to get rid of them. It might be really, really hard, especially if you're so close to them, but seriously, if they're not serving you, like why would you want to keep putting yourself through something when you know that you can make a change? Again, I know it's hard and it's easier said than done. Um, but you really have to again put yourself first, and that's how you're going to enter your baddie era because you're gonna be unapologetically you if you are constantly happy with yourself and you're happy with the people that you surround yourself with. And honestly, the energy that you surround yourself with will contribute to your mental health. So if you're like kind of surrounded by people who aren't kind to others or they're not kind to you, you are also going to reflect that, and that's just going to deteriorate your mental health. Learn how to say no. That's my other piece of advice. Is like if it's going to drown you in like a depression or whatever, like if it's just going to drain you, drown you, whatever, like you have to say no. If you just worked like a whole day and your friends want to go out and you're like, that sounds fun, but like really, I'm going to be so burnt out the next day if I go out. Don't go out. You need to focus on yourself. If you are going to be extra drained from something, you're not going to enjoy it when you actually do it. Like it's not even just about going out. That's just an example. But if you're more worn out, you're not going to enjoy things. The next piece of advice that I have is reevaluate your priorities. If you're doing things that are just not as enjoyable, you got to ask yourself those hard questions of are they healthy? Are they supporting my dream life? Are they actually serving me to be the best version of myself? Like an example would be, I don't even know, partying every day. I don't know. Is that healthy? No. Is it serving your future goals? No. Now, if you switch partying with going to the gym or coming home and journaling and making yourself dinner, that's healthier. And I'm not saying never go out or never have fun or never go to parties. Definitely do that. You got to have that great balance in your life. It's like an 80-20 rule. I'm pretty sure that that's what that's called. But like, you need to be healthier rather than having those unhealthy habits, because if you are not healthy and you're not doing things that are going to serve you, you're not going to get what you want out of life. And you're going to feel like you're in this continuous cycle. And reevaluating your priorities kind of helps with your confidence, because when you start to do things that really are serving you and that make you happy, they're just going to make you feel so much more confident about yourself and in what you're doing. Like, I mean, confident in what you're doing. And I guess the last piece of advice I have for you is to walk into rooms like you own that shit. Okay? Walk into a room like you've been there 1,000 times and that is your room. Don't walk in on your phone. Don't walk in kind of shy. Walk in with your head high, shoulders back, looking like you own that shit. Okay? Because there's nothing more attractive than when someone is walking into a place not being shy. Like, you will turn heads if you are so incredibly confident in yourself when you're walking into a room. Like, when someone walks in on their phone, you're just kind of gonna look at them and look away. Now, if someone walks in and they're like got their little walk strut going, you're going to look at them for a couple seconds. And I know that you have done that before because I've done that before. I've seen people walk in a room and I'm like, holy shit, like they're kind of intimidating, but I love it because they look so confident. So I know that you've done that because I've definitely done that at least once in my life. But walking into a room so confident helps you. And also, tricking yourself into thinking that you're confident kind of helps your confidence as well. Like, I've definitely not felt confident some days, and I'm sure every single person in the entire world has felt that way. But I sometimes trick myself into thinking that I'm the most confident person in the world. And I sometimes just like say it in the car. I'm like, I'm hot shit. I'm confident. Fuck yeah. I'm hot. I'm confident. I'm happy. Like, I just hype myself up sometimes when I'm really not feeling confident, and it seriously helps. Like, honestly, if you're not feeling confident some days, hyping yourself up, looking into a mirror and hyping yourself up, that's a game changer. So I guess that's another piece of advice. Look into a mirror, hype yourself up, give yourself compliments. If there's ever a day when you're not feeling confident or not feeling happy, I would say just do that. Like, look into a mirror, give yourself 5 compliments, and see how you feel afterwards. And if you don't feel any really better, say 5 more things you like about yourself. Compliment yourself, be kind to yourself, be happy with yourself. All I gotta say is I'm so thankful for that person who told me I needed to enter that baddie villain era, because I'm unapologetically myself. I'm more confident. Of course, I have those days where I'm not, but who doesn't? Especially girls, because you have that time of the month when you get on your period, or it's like right before your period, and you're not happy. And that's okay, because that's completely normal. And even for men, like, there are definitely some days when you're not confident, and that's okay, because you can hype yourself back up, and every single person has those days when they're not confident. So just don't feel alone, because you're not alone. But anyway, thank you so much for telling me to enter my baddie villain era, because I love it. It's fun. And it's fun just being happy and confident. But anyway, I'm going to end the podcast here because I do have to film another one, and it's already been about 30 minutes. So, um, thank you so much for tuning in and for listening to this. Follow me on Instagram. The podcast has an Instagram. If you didn't know that, you can also follow my personal Instagram. It's linked in my podcast Instagram, Everything Bagel Podcast. And then my Instagram is faith.i.hernandez. And then that has all my links if you want to see me on YouTube, if you don't even know what I look like. And the podcast has a YouTube channel now. So that's so exciting. Go subscribe. I will start posting video podcasts because I know that people like those and I've had a couple requests for it. So I really want to start doing them, but it's just going to take some time. So be super, super patient with me. But thank you again so much for watching, and I will talk to you later.